Hello, my name is Stacy Kraus and I'm a speech pathologist. And today I want to show you how to create your own virtual speech therapy room. Now, this is a great way to personalize and provide structure in your teletherapy sessions, but it can also be used for in-person sessions as well. A virtual speech therapy classroom is another way to help you get and stay organized with your lesson plans and by including clickable links to all your activities that you're going to use for a session, you have easy and quick access to those. So, the first step in creating your virtual classroom is to create the background of the room. You can do this in Google Slides or PowerPoint by having a blank slide. So you'll want it completely empty with nothing on it. I'm going to demo this in Google Slides, but you can do all the same things pretty much in PowerPoint as well. So I'm going to delete those text boxes that came on it and close that out. Typically, a slide presentation program like Slides or PowerPoint will give you a 16 by 9 dimension slide, which works really well for widescreen, like on a teletherapy platform for sharing your screen. So you can make the dimensions be whatever you want, but 16 by 9 actually is pretty perfect for this. We are going to add images for parts of the classroom that we don't want or need to be movable in the final virtual classroom. This is going to be the actual background image. So I have some options here. Let's say I want to pull in this one. So I can either click and drag that image or go to Insert and then click on Image right here, upload it from the computer. I can also search the web. If you click here, it will pull up Google and you can search for background images. If you're just using it for your personal use, Google Images is fine. You can just kind of use what they give you to insert just because it's only for your personal use. So once you insert the image, which I'm going to be just clicking and dragging because I find that's easier and faster, you want to resize those corners so it completely fills the slide like that. Next, I'm going to add some furniture and other accessories and decor to my virtual classroom. Now, this set I have in my TPT shop. It is full of different furniture, decor, accessories, and backgrounds that can be mixed and matched together. And I'm just going to have this file open and click and drag over from there. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is you're going to be layering images on top of each other. And so to make it look more real, you want some things to be in front of other things. So like if I want to have let's say I want to have a whiteboard in there, that should be in the very back. I can arrange them as I add to be in that same order. Or let's say I messed up and instead of putting that whiteboard first, I put a plant and then I put the whiteboard, and that doesn't look right because I want the plant to be in front. So in this instance, let me get this side step a bit better. I would just click on the item I want to move and then right click it and then go to Order, bring to front or bring all the way forward, which there's only a couple images on there, but that would kind of layer it in the correct way. So I'll keep adding things to my virtual classroom and designing it how I like it by resizing and clicking and dragging the items that I want to use over and moving them around how I want them to be sized and in the order that I want them to be in. Okay, if you're like me, you might also think that part is pretty fun to arrange and design your own room. So now we can save this whole slide as one image in a JPEG format. This will make it so these aren't easily movable so that students or you don't accidentally move it and it gets kind of jumbled. So to do that, you're going to go to File and you're going to go to Download and pick JPEG image for that current slide. It has downloaded it up here. So now if I want to, I can open a separate presentation or just add a new slide to insert that image. Probably you might want to make a separate presentation that is just for your finished therapy rooms, and you might have another Google Slides presentation or PowerPoint presentation that is where you kind of play with those designs. So now I want to insert that JPEG as the background. So I'm going to go to the slide and right click anywhere and go to Change Background. I'm going to choose the image. I'm going to browse. I know I just downloaded that. So I will insert it, click it, insert it, and now those aren't movable. This is all just one image that cannot be moved. It's static. Next, it's time to add the elements of the room that might change more often, more regularly. If you want to switch them out, then it would make it easy to do because they are not locked into the background. They can be moved, deleted, and so forth. So this is kind of where you can get creative. Sometimes a text box, it depends on the age of your students, kind of what you are going to want here and what their goals are. You can have a text box with whatever text you want to say, just a morning message or some kind of a prompt, a question, a welcome activity of some sort, or you can put the schedule of what you're going to be doing that day and type it all in there. You can also have images. So let's say you want to do some work on a certain sound. You know, you can have like the mouth model to represent like working on placement of a certain sound. There's included in this set that I have articulation cards that you could have there, or like some kind of an app if you want to, especially if you're in person. You could do books, maybe ebooks, or even, you know, like holding up a book in teletherapy or in person therapy, obviously a real book. And so you have these objects that kind of represent your schedule. And each one can have a clickable link to somewhere on the web. It could be, like I said, a book that you want to link if you want to copy and then create a link here. So to the book option, you would go to Insert, Link, and I'm going to just paste the link right there, apply, and now when I click on that object, I get a clickable link right to where I was, right to where I want to go. So I don't have to have all these tabs open because in my virtual classroom, it'll take me right there. You can also link to Boom Card activities. You can link to Google Slides activities, really any website activity that could be an article or an ebook, or like here I have like that categories game, link to Boom Card deck, like I said, that story about whales. So really anything that has a link can be connected to an image. You can also link to text. So let's say I want to put the category game here. My students don't necessarily need or want the pictures, so I just want to link to a category game on some text. So I'm going to select the text, insert link again. I'm going to grab this link from here. I'm going to paste it and then apply. So then it shows that it's hyperlinked and I can just use the text to link to something. When you're done with any of these links, you just delete them. When you're done with any of these images for the next session or whatever, you can just delete them like that. Another fun thing to do is add maybe your personal avatar, a Bitmoji. Bitmoji has an extension that you can use. which makes it super easy. If you search pose, you'll get kind of more poses like this, whereas the regular Bitmojis aren't necessarily what you're looking for. You want the whole body to look like you, a person, the whole person, and then you can just click and drag it in there. If you want to include your Bitmoji, that's pretty fun to do as well. Another option that you can make clickable, like I showed before with the boom cards, if you want an image of that, let's say, here's what you're going to be working on with your student, you can just take a screenshot. So I'm using the snipping tool to just get a part of the screen, and then I clicked and dragged what I wanted. There it is. So I can copy that and then I can paste it right here in my virtual speech therapy room. So there it is. If I want a picture representation of it, I can put it here. I can put it anywhere I want to. I can put it with some text here and then add that link. Insert link, paste it in, and now that is what students would click. So a lot of times the whiteboard, or like I have a chalkboard, or a cork board, is a good way to kind of organize those links, or maybe on the table, something that your students are familiar with using. Maybe you always have the list of activities in a certain place so that they know where to find it, or you can also, if you're working with your students, just kind of point them out and ask them what they want. So it can be more for like a schedule or a choice board as well. You can also add some more like seasonal decor, or if you're working on a theme, you can insert images. This is really easy to do, especially from Google. You can type like jack-o'-lantern. Sometimes if you put like isolated or PNG, a PNG file is what you'll probably find the best for. Then you click it and click insert. Find the best for virtual rooms, because PNG files are transparent background. A JPEG file will have a white background. So what I'm using here, and what you might want to use for your virtual room so that it looks more real without like a white background, are PNGs. Another great way to use a virtual classroom is if you want to have your students kind of have the link always in their in a Google Classroom, or in some way they have a link to this, and you can share homework. So you can add a text box that says homework, and then add maybe like a boom card deck that you are going to want them to do. So maybe you want them to do this activity. You can copy that image from your boom card library, and then we're back over here and you can paste it. And there it is, so they can kind of see what it is. Then maybe you want to include the link right to it, but because you're not sharing the activity with them side by side and they're not playing it from your boom card library, they are not going to be able to access it if you include that link, because it's not in their library unless you assign it to them, or maybe give them a fast play link or a fast pin. So you can generate that pin, copy it. Now it's only good for 14 days or whatever it is, depending on your membership. That might be different, but then you can add the link right there that we just copied so that they can access that from home. So that works really well also. And lastly, a nice option is to also include, if you're a teletherapist, to include a direct link to your teletherapy room. Like I said, this would be especially if the student has access to this virtual room without you. If it's been shared with them and they can click from this slide on their own to meet you in your therapy room. So for that one, you might just want to do like a Zoom, or whatever icon matches the platform that you're using. And this might be something that stays here more permanently, but it kind of depends on how you want your students to access your therapy room. But like a little Zoom link right there that you can insert. Again, insert the link, to whatever your Zoom room is so that they can always access it. You can also include your contact information, um, your email, phone, anything that you would like them to have access to at any time they need it. I hope that was helpful to give you a crash course on how to set up and how you could use your own virtual speech therapy room. Thanks for watching.